Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more of the meta. So guys, I want to share with you a defense I've been running for a few years. Occasionally, EA basically creates patches where it makes these type of defenses not effective or not. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll do new patches, and then some of the old defenses that you used to run usually become more effective than they were. And this is going to be the Okie Roll 3 defense, basically out of dime packages. 146 is what I'm running out of the new out of the Panthers playbook. So this is a defense I actually jumped into. I was down by 2 scores, potentially 3 scores against this guy. Jumped into this defense, and then I started getting a lot of stops. One of the reasons why this Okie Roll 3 defense is really difficult to basically, play against as an offensive player is that you're disguising your coverages, and then once the ball is snapped, then the coverages start coming out. So there's really no way to pre-read it at all. So actually, he comes out of empty base out of the first play, and I'm like, hey, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get a cheap sack against this guy. I'm going to jump into a formation I've been running a lot against empty, which essentially is the 61 even, and then the Sam Will blitz right here. So if you guys watched my gameplay before, I've run this consistently. Man up all my guys. I usually will base a line over each defender, and then I'm going to go user this guy right here. And engage this blocker right here, and then kind of fall back in coverage. So this guy actually did something unique with the offensive line. I don't know if there's been a change in the game, but you'll see that everybody kind of slide protected across right here and picked up my blitz. Usually I've got a guy that'll come off the edge and go straight into the quarterback's face, and everything got picked up. I'm out of position. I didn't actually provide any kind of pass rush, so he's got essentially all day for his routes to develop. And you can see the corner route develops. Someone finally gets in his face, but it's too late. He's able to go and pop me with a corner route, get my defender out of position, first play of the game, and get himself a one-play touchdown off of a man blitz. So quickly like that, I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I can't use man coverages against this guy because he knows how to read leverages and all that stuff. So he does get the ball back. I turn over the ball on downs. Actually, I had a 4th and inches inside zone. Gets a really monster block shed and actually gets the ball in the backfield. So as a result, I end up giving the ball back to him. He runs into tight doubles, and I decided to go ahead and jump into basically my mesh beater. So I slid my line over to the left here to try to protect against any kind of an inside zone. And a lot of times what I do is when I see any kind of tight coverages or formations like this, I'm going to put these guys into basically hard flats. And I'm going to use this defender down in the middle of the field to try to take that away. I does a little inside zone. Gets my look. My guys are all just bundled up by 2 blockers. So I've got three defenders bundled up by 2 blockers. He has a huge hole there with Robinson. Makes a nice little juke move. It gets the ball down. Another first down. So slide my guys over. I think I slide my linebackers over. Got everything nice and tight. He goes with another run right here. And you can see, look at Robinson just juking into holes and making something out of nothing. So really good running back in Robinson to be able to do that. So another situation where I'm running the same defense, slide everybody over, try to take away the runs. Got myself my hard flats because I'm going to go ahead and try to protect against this any kind of a mesh concept that people like to run. And sure enough, he's running mesh. So this is what you expect with mesh. And actually, I don't carry over with the tight end pits, and he throws it perfectly right in the seam, right in the area where that is perfect because I've got a hard flat out there. So this guy really knows. He's using basic plays. He's not using anything unique, but he's just grinding away. Right here, I actually set the lineup correctly. I think I shifted my line over, and then I took my linebackers and shifted them back. And that actually gave me a little bit better leverage against him in that type of situation. I'm able to get him to a 2nd and 2. So I'm not really doing it very well with a nickel defense, so I just decided to go jump into this Okie roll. So here's the base play I like to run. I like to base a line. I like to use this Okie Roll 3 defense. And the reason why is that when you base a line, these guys will always be over the guards. They'll drop down. And then you're going to have this guy rolling down into a blitz position. Now, I have a couple different types of plays I like to use in conjunction. I'll use this Okie roll 2, and then I'll also use like a cover 3 or maybe a cover 6 or cover 4. But you'll see what happens is that the box comes down, everything's covered up in the box, and I can easily just blitz all with my linebackers and get a really, really good pressure coming in. And you can see right here, I've got pressure in his face, and this is why he rushed the ball. He's got this crosser coming right over the middle of the field. Here's my user. I'm using like a low overall defender, and that's one of the reasons why he probably didn't pick it off. But you can see that actually he forced him to rush that pass off and get him into a 3rd and 12. So I'm going to go ahead and stay with this Okie roll 3. It's an Okie roll Eagle 3 is my base defense. See what this guy does with this. But you know, if I can get myself a stop here, that's going to be a pretty good thing. He goes in single back wing pro, so just kind of more of a heavier set. And what's cool about this is you show your opponent the same look, but you can switch into a different defense. So he believes there might be some pressure coming in the face, or but I can go ahead and jump into different defense. So right here, I go ahead and jump into cover 6, shift my line over, saying, hey, if you want to go ahead and run on the backside, that's fine, but I'm not going to give you the strength of formation where you've got five blockers. And you can only shift your linemen over when you switch your defense. So that's just a little key with this Okie roll defense. So you can see these guys are actually kind of falling back. He doesn't know where to go with the ball. He's just pretty much locked up. And right here, I get myself a coverage sack against him because he doesn't know where to go with it. He was just using kind of a verticals concept. This guy basically, he would run stock plays and just quick snap. So it wasn't like he was doing any kind of really, you know, different types of adjustments and stuff like that. He knew his plays. He only had a handful of plays that he actually ran, but he was very efficient with them. But I get him into, I go up, you know, basically it's 10-0. I have a situation where I throw another interception. So I was reading man coverage. It was match coverage. It was bracketed, and I just threw the ball with the anticipation my guy would open up, and it didn't happen. So I'm kind of in a bind right now. So now I actually go ahead and jump into basically Okie roll, I believe. But what I'm doing is I'm using cover 3 because he's using an outside, or he's using tight formation. So I've got this set up with cover 3. I've got a hook zone defender right here, and I'm actually using the blitzing guy over the top. Right here, you can see the guy's actually doing this. This guy's just running mesh concepts left and right. He's just using mesh. And right here, actually threw into one of my defenders and gets away with one with pits. So got a little bit lucky there. That's the type of play that I actually set up deliberately to catch people off guard. So right here, I've got seam flats. I think I was trying to drop this guy into a deep zone. And the lag of the game actually kind of threw off my adjustments, but you can see right here I'm able to go ahead and tackle this guy in the backfield, get him into a 3rd and 11 situation. So I think what he did in this type of situation, he decided I'm going to kind of shoot on the clock as much as possible, not give this guy, not give me an opportunity to get the ball back at all. So right here I go into Okie roll 2, which is basically a cover 2 version of it, and I'm going to use this guy over the middle, and there's going to get pressure in. Unless he blocks 7, pressure will get in with this defensive setup. The problem is that this guy is going to be out of position, so you can throw over the top of it, but I've got a soft squat. So the seam right here is the weakness of this defense if I'm running an all-out blitz. That's where the weakness is, and then anything coming over the middle of the field. So I've got a lot of area to cover, but what's cool about this defense is that the pressure comes in so fast. And right here, look at this. You see this animation, you see these guys, you know, basically, you know, almost catching the ball. Here's a situation where I actually caught it and get myself a defensive touchdown at the end of the game right here, basically 30 or end of the half at 36 seconds or so. So lucky for me, I'm able to go ahead and get away with that right there, get a touchdown, because I really needed it. My offense was really atrocious against this guy. This guy actually would switch up his defenses, and I had a hard time reading coverages against this guy pre-snap, and as a result, I really struggled. So 3rd down situation, you can see the score's tied, basically 10-10. He jumps into a heavy set, deuce close. What I like to do deuce close is I like to go ahead and set up a cover 3. I like to do hard flats, and then I like to take these inside defenders and man them up on the wide receivers for any kind of crossing routes, and then I use the guy over the middle of the field. I haven't jumped into this defense in a while. I really haven't labbed it in a while, and as a result, it was just my motor skills are off. For some reason, I was on Ramsey. I'm trying to set my man defenders up. This guy's a quick snapper. I go ahead and get back to Holland, and I'm still trying to set these guys up. I do get them set up, but he actually goes with, you know, I think a corner and outs, and he's got like a little flare that goes out, and then basically he does an in route, and he throws the ball right in front of me. So I try to come down to it. I got to it late. So this guy was really challenging his user. He challenging my user, and I just wasn't making plays. And that, you know, that sucks when you have a guy that's real deliberate. So now he goes into a kind of a heavier box situation, and everything gets picked up perfectly. Look at that hole. Like, these guys just sealed everything off. I've got a guy way out here to the outside. Nobody's actually playing my run fits. It's 8. You know, I've got 4 linebackers and 4 linemen. That's the type of defense that should basically go ahead and shut down heavy sets. He goes to the outside. I get a guy who shoots a gap, gets to the backfield, gets a 2nd and 10, and then he actually checks out of the heavy sets. He goes to the gun tight. So right here, basically what I do is I jump into the Okie roll 3. Is my setup, tight Y off, and I think what I did is I jumped into, they go into the cover 3 version of the site. Yeah, I've got cover 3 right here, and I'm trying to set this up with the cover 3 version. So right here I've got kind of a spy out there. He quick snapped me with basically just a simple bench concept, and then on the back side he actually had an in and then a deep out. It's kind of like a hammer concept. And because I didn't have a hard flat out there, there was nobody out there falling into that zone. He read it, threw it right away. So he was quick snapping me stock plays, and he was very, very effective with that. So you could see basically this is a Falcons levels concept. This is a very common formation. This is something I actually have in my offensive scheme. I just run it a slightly different, but quick snapping is actually really good when you have a bench concept like that. So back at it again. Now I jump into cover 6, I believe. No, actually cover 2. But you can see the defender comes down, and right here actually throws the out. You can see he's getting rid of the ball really, really quick. And what's cool about this is that you've got those cover 2 shells, those soft squats out there that are going to come down and play those out routes, so flat routes and stuff like that. So back at it again with this Okie roll. I'm going to use cover 2 once again. I want to get pressure in his face, and that's where I've had success. Right here he does a motion, and you can see the pressure comes in. So that could have been another turnover. You can see these guys just came in blazing off the side because he sent out 5. And that's what's cool about this figure play. It's just the pressure is just so intense and just so fast against these tight sets. Now I think what I did is I switch it up. I go into cover 3. I've got hard flats out there. And what I should be doing is blitzing down and then blitzing back up. I'm going to be switching over to a different version of cover 3 because it's just easier to set up. And right here I actually go ahead. I've got cover 3 set up. I'm watching this guy carry over the middle of the field, but he's got a post over the top. And Smith is out of position, and he actually goes ahead and completes it. So that's one hell of a throw. That's a risky throw because my defensive back did not undercut that. But he's able to get away with it. So he gets the ball down to 14. So look at the time right here. Okay, this is the type of situation where you're going to run the ball as much as possible, try to choose as much clock as possible, and actually go ahead and kick the field goal. I've got 3 timeouts, so I have time to go ahead and start burning timeouts to go ahead and preserve some clock from my side, just hopefully forcing this guy to 3 points and be in a position where I can go ahead and march the ball down the field myself and maybe tie it up or actually get a cheap touchdown. So now I go back into this is the cover 3 Okie roll, but blitzing everybody. So a little bit different. I've got this guy kind of falling back. I've got this guy sliding over. I've got a hard flat out there. The weakness of this particular defense from a fast read is going to be this area right here, and then a lot of times it could be this area. So you're looking like the weaknesses are going to be right here when you run on all out blitz with like this. But the pressure's coming in. Unless he blocks everybody, the pressure's coming in. It goes with a run. And here's something that I noticed with this defense when I blitz everybody. I will get some block sheds with defensive tackles and linebackers. So right here, he actually does like an off tackle fake, you know, a jet sweep fake, and I'm able to go ahead and get him for a 5-yard loss. So right here, go ahead and jump into the cover 2 version of it. I want to have some hard flats out there. I've got everybody cubing Tade up, setting the pressure once again. I want to dictate what this guy does. He actually throws underneath. He had basically a concept where he had, you know, a guy's coming across, and I think he had a tight end route coming over. What he had is a running back that wheeled up behind it. So this guy got pulled out of position by the running back, and you can see right here actually gets a nice little gainer. So he picked up 10 yards off that. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy's he's figuring out my defense. So I'm going to go and switch it up. I'm going to run basically this Okie roll 3 defense, but I'm going to go hard flats. Everything is hard flats. And I'm going to go ahead and do all coverage against this guy and let him make a decision what he wants to do with it. So I decided to go and jump around with this. I'm going to QB contain because what's going to happen is he's going to freeze when he's going to see everybody dropping back in coverage. There's no blitzing going on. And then he's going to try to roll out and try to make a play. So that's why I'm QB contain. And right here you can see he's using his mesh concepts. I've got a bunch of people in traffic. He throws into the flat, and I'm able to go ahead and intercept it with my linebacker and get the ball down here to the 37-yard line. I end up taking the ball down to the end zone, running out the clock, and kick the game-winning field goal against this guy. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for support. I hope you guys just see some of the ways I run these defenses. They're just unique. They're not something a lot of people use. And I'm actually labbing some variations of this defense where I use a different defender, and I'm seeing the pressures coming in with better coverage. So be on the lookout for that. I'll be posting something like that on Patreon first, and you'll be seeing some gameplay later. So thank you for your support. Until next time.